You ever pinch yourself with the fucking record?
Juwan X TheDon.
Except my STEEZ, you know what the fuck going on? Damn, I sound depressed.
Goddamn, bring y'all the Sunday ticket recap, man. Oh shit. Damn, I guess we just gotta get into these games, man. First game of the night, we have West Coast. I guess GWS versus West Coast was all that. I mean, this game went pretty much how I fucking expected, man. Unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, man.
I thought we was just gonna put up a little more of a fight, man. We didn't do shit really the whole game. All our goals was off junk time bullshit. I didn't see really nothing to look forward to. They had Jim B coming out the back, bruh. And
Harley too.
yeah, well, right. Jim B been out the back all year, but Harley moved to the back. And we basically gave up our midfield, and I don't think you can give up anything to GWS in the midfield.
Even despite the fact that Stephen Cornelio was a laid out, even though he's been playing some forward too. But yeah, against GWS, you don't really want to compromise that mid. But the decisions played out in the score the way this game went, man.
Yeah, man. I don't think it's any positives, man.
Debutante had some type of positive.
Tom Gross.
Yeah. With Sandy Brock.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't. I mean, like I've been saying, we haven't been able to like create our own potential outside of like the very beginning of the game, or own momentum, I should say. And we just never had that this game, bro.
Did you like what you seen from Archer Reed?
I do like Archer Reed, actually. I fuck with Archer Reed a lot. As the season goes on, I fuck with him more and more every game. I mean, that first game, he had that little went for his first goal, missed it. Second game, missed his second attempt. Hit his first goal in the second game, and now I'm looking for him as an option already. So
yeah. This game just looked bad, bro. Just not West Coast, but GWS, bro. When they were playing, it seemed like there was no pressure put on GWS. They were just free roaming players, just able to run freely with no pressure, having so much time to make decisions. Coming from the back, coming from the mid, really it didn't matter where they were on the ground. It was just not pressure. It seemed like just structurally West Coast was really out of whack, on top of not giving the best effort as well. So I think that's just a recipe for disaster already when you're already lacking the experience as well. Sam Taylor had a pretty easy game this game back there. Him and Buckley, man. But Jesse Hogan, boy, that boy, Coleman, boy.
He 10 on us? That shit insane,
I think he kicked 9. But he was close.
Look at that. Season averages.
But yeah, Jesse Hogan was looking good, man. Like he got a slow start to the year, well, partially because he didn't play. But yeah, Jesse Hogan, man, he was trying to kick a bag. Well, he did kick a bag, but I don't think actually he has a behind this season, bro. I think he's like 13-0 in front of goal this season, bro.
Yeah, that shit insane. I mean, we ain't do shit to stop him, man. We ain't have McGovern this game either, so
that was the main culprit there.
Yeah, it was just a really ugly game. Hard game to watch for West Coast. Luckily, we didn't have to finish this game before the next game came on. So, moving on. Next game, we had Port versus Saints. What you think coming into this game? Because we are the only ones in our tipping comp that tipped the Saints. You know
this was actually a game I was really looking forward to, especially with the 3 games that were on this night. Port, I was still waiting to see what type of Port. Like you said it plenty of times, we don't know what Port we're really getting. We know Port, when they are good, they look good, man. They can play. They have the midfield on paper to be able to do it, to get the job done. In previous years, they've had forwards as well, which they're short Todd Marshall right now, but they still have Georgiadis and a couple others as well. But also just considering the form that the Saints were coming off of. Saints have started the season pretty hot. I think they're doing all the right things to be able to win games. So I was interested. Also with the fact that Zach Butters coming back into the side. I didn't know how Port was going to fare this game, so I was very interested in it.
Yeah, coming into this one, I tipped Saints to begin with because they just have been more consistent this year. You get your ass whipped by, over 40, then I don't care what you're doing. There are some type of problems that I think could arise again. So, and Port hasn't showed any consistency to, think otherwise. But this game was. I think it was pretty back and forth the first quarter, I believe.
So for first quarter, I think Saints really slick was whooping their ass, but
slick, yeah.
But I will say it would have been. It was bad, but it could have been way worse because Zach Butters was really the only person really keeping them in the game in the first quarter. I think he had like 10 of their points scored. 10 of their points came off the boot of Zach Butters. So without him, they were really lucky for him to come in this game.
I know fucking Georgiadis was having a crazy game for Port. Like, he was a great mark target. He wasn't hitting all his shots, goals, obviously, but I feel like that's who Saints had to worry about it, and they back 50.
Yeah, for sure. And Ollie Lord had a good game as well from the forward position of Port. I think Saints were just well balanced, bro. They kept the pressure up.
Yeah.
They pretty much just stuck to the script of how they've been playing already this whole season. They were just well balanced. I really like Jack Higgins. It seems like when Jack Higgins kicks a snap, that bitch is going in no matter what. It seems like one of the most sure things in footy to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just from the ground game, I think the Saints were just a bit too much for Port. It was actually a very physical game. There was a little a dust up, if you will, at the beginning of the game.
Continued by like two others later on.
Yeah, it was bad blood. But Saints historically have struggled in Port Adelaide, in the Adelaide Oval. And I want to say this first quarter was the best start that Saints have ever had at Adelaide Oval, which wasn't looking good for Port. And Saints really defied history and really just took them boys behind the shed and whooped their ass for real, to be honest, despite some respectable performances for some Port players. But
yeah, this was definitely a very entertaining game, just off the physicality and just the tug of war. Even though the Saints had to lead, it kind of had that feel of the Gold Coast Crows game where Gold Coast just had to lead and they would just. Crows would just kick a few goals and be back in it. You never thought they were just completely out of the game until it was just not enough time left on the clock. I think that this game is very similar to that.
For sure. I think Saints just that blue collar team. Like they're still short Max King, still short Jack Steele, and still got the job done, which is very impressive to me, considering that on paper Port should whoop their ass, bro. They should, but. There's just something going on behind the scenes, especially at Adelaide Oval. You shouldn't be losing like that, man.
That's all I got for this one. Yeah, on to the last game of the round. The game I thought was going to be game of the night.
Shit, in the first quarter, it seemed like it was going to be.
Shit, first half down there, it was goddamn back and forth. Just not a goal difference. Just
ding dong affair.
In the truest form, shit. Well, you had to the dogs coming in this.
I did the dogs. Yeah. Thought we were about to be looking goated with the dogs and the Saints. Yeah, but early in the game it was just back and forth between Frio and the dogs. I really thought the dogs had potential to really whoop Frio ass. I guess I didn't really give them. I do have more respect for Frio the way that they played this game. They did a good job defensively in the first quarter, really stopping a bunch of repeat entries that the Dogs had. I think Naughton is really letting the Dogs down, though. He had hella drop marks.
Naughton hasn't been playing the same this year.
No.
Like he's usually a lot more reckless and a lot more of a go-getter to the ball. I think a lot of times this game he was kind of just standing and waiting for the marks or not really going into the pack like that. That's kind of an interesting difference, and I don't know the reason behind that or if it is a reason, but definitely something I noticed.
Yeah, I would like to think that it would be easier on bro now that you have Sam Darcy being who he is and performing the way he is. Like, he's a 6'10". Like, you really have to focus on Sam Darcy from a defensive perspective, and Speaking of him, he had a great game as well. He's just a unicorn, man. I'm actually excited to see the future of him, like being that size, being able to mark the ball that he's able to mark, and on top of having the elite kicking is just very impressive to me. But I think that's where the Dogs really got let down this game. They just weren't efficient at all, really. In the forward half, I think Frio did a great job defensively, which that's what the reputation is. And also, just on the same ticket, Frio, we seen the ball movement that we thought that we've seen early in the season that we thought Frio was going to have. They were really running the Dogs at the gym. Their ball movement, they were just able to really. They had a nice balance between quick play and knowing when to play fast and when to slow it down as well. So I think Frio really had a great game. Unfortunately,
unfortunately, indeed. I fear Frio's ball movement is very crisp, bro. Like there's a lot of times where, you know, I put a lot of value on teams that kind of look for the other player instead of just booming it forward. You know, looking for the player that can actually see the field. And I think Frio was doing that well when they were playing well. Frio was always looking for that extra man, and they handballs was nice too, and then they're fast as shit too, man. I fucking Frio's gonna be a problem if they can goddamn stay consistent, because we see that they're a shaky team. And
the unselfishness that you were talking about was actually, there was a negative occasion of that with Shea Bolton.
Oh, but he's just a fucking idiot. that just comes with Shea, it seems.
I don't know why he is the way he is, but I guess at this point in his career, you really just have to accept the good with the bad, and what he does. But yeah, Michael Frederick, like there's a bunch of players that you can really name. Like Murphy Reed was pretty good as well. He's, dare I say, potential to win the Rising Star. But yeah, Luke Ryan held it down back, bro. I think Luke Jackson actually got hurt this game, so that's something to monitor going forward to see how well Luke Jackson, how available he'll be in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's definitely instrumental to them, especially out of the middle.
Ah, man.
As Tracy continued his. This was a great goal scoring game.
For sure. Even though it didn't seem high scoring, but was it one of the highest scoring games this week? Because there was a lot of low scoring games. Oh, shit.
I think there was probably some more higher score games, but Brisbane, Richmond.
Music licensing.
It's really just the ass whoops, though.
Yeah,
that scored high.
Yeah.
I also want to highlight that Toby might be under the Toby tax might be taking effect with the tunneling on Matt Owies. Also, who was that?
Port.
Yeah, who the fuck was that? Burn Jones?
Yeah.
I think it was Burn Jones who. I want to say, was it Brian Burns?
I don't know. The possible hip to the head. I definitely think they should look at that just for. Because if you ignore it, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah. I think the thing with the AFL is they just do a lot of what's the point behavior, bro. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like we were saying, like they went and acknowledged that the Adelaide should have got a free kick, but what's the point of saying that if you're not ever gonna do shit? This is like 4 games that Adelaide has been fucked, and you just keep coming out and saying it, but you don't ever do a better job of rectifying the situation or even hiring better umpires or whatever the case is.
Matter of fact, shit. Matter of fact, if y'all made it to the end of the video, I am curious to see what y'all have to say about the Suns Crows game, since they came out and admitted they mistake in a 1-point game that definitely could have at least been a behind to tie it up. So, you know, this changes records and shit. So I'm just curious what y'all think about that.
Especially since Adelaide missed finals off some situation like that in the past.
Yeah, so.
Literally.
Other than that, man, shit, that's about it, man. That's round 4, shit. Goddamn, next round, gather round. And if you don't know, tune into the lives, man. All I'm about to say about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah.
Artlist.io Music licensing reimagined.